What's up, folks? Casual Dad here, and I'm going to go ahead and talk real quick about my Sacrifice Blood build for my Necromancer. I really enjoyed it. I'm just running through the tail end of this dungeon here, so I'll go ahead and get to demonstrate a little bit while I talk about this. This all circles around the key passive, the key ultimate ability, excuse me, let me pull that up. And that is, I forget what it's called. Where is the narrative? No, should have thought this through. Okay, so key ultimate passive, that is going to be your Rothma's Vigor. So you increase your life total, and then after being healthy for 12 seconds, your next blood skill overpowers. So every 12 seconds, you have a guaranteed overpower, which is awesome. Now, it's guaranteed for blood skills, and there's a couple reasons where that's kind of a downside. A lot of the blood build feeds on itself, so like you have bonuses for being fortified, you get extra fortify, you get extra blood orbs, you get all these bonuses that apply to all blood skills. So there's a lot of encouragement to be all blood skills. But the downside to that is that then, when you're ready for your overpower, any one of your skills could trigger it. So I could go in and want to do an overpower with my Blood Nova and do a bunch of damage, but instead, say I accidentally trigger my basic attack, and that uses up my 12-second bonus, and then I have to wait another 12 seconds, hopefully being healthy, before I can fire up another one. Now, it's still, 12 seconds happens often enough that you still feel that, and there are other ways to get like an empowered Blood Spear, and empowered hemorrhage, which is the base skill. So it's not that bad, but you do notice those times where you hit just like a wet noodle because you're waiting for your 12-second margin to go off. Now, items help a lot. You can see that whenever I do a Blood Nova, it echoes twice because I've got the affix that does the double Poison Nova. I'm also looking to build in the things that add additional items to Blood Lance, because Blood Lance is your major single target damage dealer that does damage all the time, but also can do a lot of damage if you use it correctly. And one of the key things about it is you want to hit multiple targets in a group with a Blood Lance. And there are affixes that will automatically generate extra Blood Lances that will automatically hit other pieces. And that's what I'm working towards right now. Hemorrhage, of course, is really awesome as a primary basic skill. Yes, basic skill. Because it is instant hit at pretty much any range here.
I'm not ready yet.
And not any range, but it's long range, and it doesn't hit anything on the way, so it can't be blocked. You can hit it around targets. Just goes right at the thing you're clicking on and does decent damage and is very quick. Especially if you do the sacrifice bonus to... Oh my god, love it. Especially if you do the sacrifice bonus to increase your attack speed. So high attack speed is really good with it. There are also some passives that give you bonus attack speed. And then you can see my big utility skill is that Blood Mist, which is like the best caster ability ever. You become completely unstoppable, you do a little bit of damage to all enemies around you, you gain Fortify and a little bit of healing, and then also you are, you can just move anywhere.
But what do cutthroats know of demons? We're missing something.
Yeah, so Blood Mist, you become unstoppable, you can move around through enemies, do some damage, gain some Fortify. And I've got an affix on it where... on one of my items rather, where anytime it hits a corpse, it triggers Corpse Explosion, which I believe does also increase based on your skills in Corpse Explosion. So that will add the Darkness FX damage to the extra damage, and then also increase the radius on that, which does a bunch of damage. If you roll in, you hit your Blood Nova, and I'll try to see if I can do this in the next mob. You run in, you hit your Blood Nova with your 12-second bonus, just splatter all the squishies, and then because I have no summons, everything else is drawn to me, and then I'll do Blood Mist, and hit it all at once in this nice tight little cluster and hit it with those corpse explosions. And it does devastating damage in this multi-layer combo. And then by the time you come out of it, chances are you've charged up your 12-second overpower and then can do another double Blood Nova. So it's been very effective. And I've been really enjoying it, and I have not missed my summons as much as I thought I might. Oh yeah. So watch that counter, it gets 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Splat.
I'm low on essence.
Now I do find that I run low on essence very quickly. I've got a talent of one of these curses where it costs no mana and then or no essence and will actually give me additional essence whenever I hit a target with it. Voila. Which is really good in this build. That's a really good way to generate extra essence because you do need it. And the... Ooh, nice. Oh, sweet. I got the glyphs. Okay, talking about the Paragon board. Check this out. So Paragon, you get these extra things, and you get glyphs that you collect that you can actually put into power spots. So I believe I would put that here. So you get glyphs, we can put these things in here. So there's the mage glyph. And you can see it adds things, so you can choose which ones to use. So there's a lot of customization from there too. Okay, I'm probably going to look for more because those aren't very good. And those start dropping when you hit the level where you can actually start to use them. So that's very cool.
Light Forsaken Triune. I've seen their medallions before, while repelling them from our borders. And now they're here, working with bandits to poison and kill our wolves. Meet me back at camp, quick as you can.
But check this out. This is a new thing that they added. There's a leave dungeon button. Just bloop. Love it. Love it. If you're watching this, you probably have already played Diablo 4 and you've seen that. But that made my day because I played through most of the game without knowing that was there. And my brother just blew my mind the other night, so I had to show that. But there's the blood build. Just to kind of talk through the whole thing in a little bit more detail real quick. So we start with Hemorrhage, which is just fantastic. Again, can't be blocked because you just hit whatever you're clicking on. One downside is if you hold your shift to stay still and cast it, you can hit air. So that's a bummer. So it's very precise, but it hits fast and does a bunch of damage and has a high chance to drop a blood orb, which is great because that does your fortify, increases your powers, can empower some of your other abilities. So right there, after picking up blood orb, your next hemorrhage also deals damage in an area, which is great, and also generates extra essence, also great. So, and because a lot of my abilities rely on being close to groups of enemies, that dropping blood orbs off them is awesome, and usually are fairly easy to pick them up because they're right there around you. And then right there. So yeah, and so this actually showed all the extra affixes. So that first rank is the area effect, and the next one is that it does extra damage if you are fortified, which you spend a lot of time being fortified. So yeah, I really like that, and the extra damage is really nice. Now this is also very tempting though. That increased attack speed while healthy is one I certainly considered. And looking at this, I may actually do that instead. Although I will say, getting the automatic fortify from hitting is great. It's a low chance versus a flat 20% increased attack speed, but it's, yeah. Yeah, you do find you get that fortify very quickly. Then we talked about Blood Lance a little bit. Really, really great with that Pierce. Is awesome because that does allow you to lance more enemies in a group more effectively. And then you've got the additional attack speed and damage, and it gets cheaper if you hit multiple enemies. Then you've got your Blood Surge, which is that Nova of blood, which is great. And one of my favorite things about it is it does more damage based on the number of enemies it hits, which is awesome. So you get that plus the double Blood Nova plus the every 12-second overpower, and it will wipe a room fairly effectively, which is great. I really like that. And now it does also heal, which also is very helpful. And then adds additional fortify. So a lot of these do the things where they do more damage if you're healthy and fortified, but also heal you, which is just a very cool thing about the blood build that I really enjoyed. We talked about Blood Mist. Really enjoy that, and ranking it up just gives you shorter cooldown, which is great, and then a slightly higher healing. Obviously the healing is not very good, but it's a really good opportunity to pick up blood orbs you've already dropped. And then also, again, it does get you out of a dangerous spot and removes controlling effects. So if you're frozen, bop. If you are stunned or knocked down, bop. But yeah, just got to be careful and time it, but it's a really good escape move and still keeps you in the thick of things while also still stacking with your other skills. Again, Enhanced does the overpower, reduces the cooldown, so anytime you overpower, that is great. I believe that is also triggered by that 12-second ult, so you are able to do Blood Mist more often. And then this one, it does Fortify you, so you get that Fortify for hitting enemies, which is, I've mentioned, is really good. Then we've got this Corpse Explosion. I've been investing in that because I do have the affix that makes my Blood Mist trigger that, and that's been really clutch in several fights. I did pick up a Curse. Again, this one being the no longer cost essence and you gain essence for hitting enemies. Really good. I thought I was in a camp. I guess I'm not. But these are, I'm loving this because I did, like I said, power up dramatically. And I did that because that charge will practically kill me. But these are level 55. I'm level 52, and I can handle them very easily. And they are one of the more powerful enemies you can run into. But yeah, so I got the Curse that does that gives you the extra essence, which is great. I've also got this guy, which lets you do increased damage to cursed enemies. I'm picking that up slowly because that's handy, but not a high priority. And then this one is close enemies are more vulnerable and also deal less damage, which is really good with the amount of time you spend grouped up without minions. Filled up this whole stack, because these are all great. While you're below health, you heal faster. While healthy, you deal more damage. Lucky hit gives you a big fortify chance, which is awesome. And that's, I mean, it's a low chance. It's only on a lucky hit, and then it's a 30% chance on a lucky hit. But still, like, that's high odds on a lucky hit. This one, of course, being you do increased overpower damage, especially while healthy, which, of course, combos well with that ultimate skill. These are really terrific. But you are seeing that most of these tiers I'm leaving pretty much empty. I'm very specifically focusing on the things that really help. And I completely skipped the ultimate skills. I tried Blood Wave. I know it's really good. I may try it again later. But it just... I found it not useful because it's in a cone... when you're usually in a cluster surrounded by enemies in all directions. So you don't want to shoot off a cone in some random direction. Since you're in the thick of it, I didn't find it very useful. But it does do a lot of damage, especially with all the other stacks. I mean, it's fine, but I didn't use it. So this one is great. Applies to your minions, but also applies to you. If you're healthy for a while, you gain the increased attack speed, which is really nice. You spend a lot of time healthy with this build. And then, of course, the Standalone and then Memento Mori. Those both really increase your survival as a solo caster who's meant to be a summoner. Those are really, really great. And, of course, your ultimate there. So that was the long run-through of the Blood build. I'm going to do one more quick play so we can see me clear a room because my 12 seconds is charged up. 12 seconds is my new battle cry and mantra. I'll just sit there and be like, do, 12 seconds. And I may not kill these guys outright because these are very durable enemies. But you can see how much damage that dealt to very high-level enemies. Not the greatest demo, of course, because these guys are extremely durable, but it will clear a room of pretty durable enemies. And there you saw that whole combo, where it did just like cycling through the abilities, and you have a ton of flexibility, and you just... It's cool. I really have been having a blast with this build. Give it a try. Let me know what you think.